Hi everyone. Well, here I am, and this feels really strange being in front of a camera again. I had to check my site, and it's been about 2 months since my last update. Feels like about 6 years. Um, Obviously, a lot has happened in my life since then. A great deal of good, which I'm going to be talking about at length in this video. Um, Also, some sadness too, which has had quite an impact on me. That said, work and writing continued to, help me push through, the difficult times. Anyway, I won't dwell on that. Let's get to the news, because I know many of you, are super excited for a very overdue update. So I can now officially confirm that I've signed with Ark Mage Press, who will be crowdfunding and producing my new Sunfall Gamebook series. Contracts are signed, everything is sorted, and I'm super excited to be working with such an amazing team of talented and professional individuals. So for those unfamiliar with Ark Mage Press, they're essentially the publishing arm of Spider-Mind Games. It was set up by Mel Byford, essentially to save the kind of beleaguered Legendary Kingdom series, which was having issues with its Kickstarter fulfillment. So she was kind of like the knight in shining armor, so to speak. But since then, Ark Mage has collaborated with Oliver, the author of Legendary Kingdoms, and John, who's the other half of Spider-Man Games, on two D&D solo game books, Domain of the Deathless King and Dark Moon Rises, both of which absolutely smashed their Kickstarter goals and have proved massively popular with the tabletop RPG crowd. So Oliver is back to writing Legendary Kingdoms, which I'm sure will please a lot of people. And so the next Ark Mage project is me, Sunfall. I'm the first kind of outside Gamebook author that they've brought into the fold. So I suppose I'm something of an experiment. But that said, I feel very privileged that they have confidence in me and my series, and that they're happy to invest their time and resources to bring Sunfall to a much bigger audience than I could ever reach. So the campaign is currently scheduled for around April-ish of next year, and the likelihood is that it will run on Gamefound rather than Kickstarter. So while Ark Mage have traditionally used Kickstarter for crowdfunding, they're very keen to try Gamefound, simply because it has much better tools for creators and better functionality for the supporters. It's just better all around. So again, I'm the experiment. Sunfall will be their first Gamebook campaign on Gamefound, which I personally find super exciting. And honestly, if there's any team in the world that can make this a success, then it's Mel, John, and Oliver. They are hardened veterans of this world, so I feel like I'm in really, capable hands. As for me, on my side of things, I need to have all 4 books completed by March of next year. That's at least having them in a rough state. The idea is, I think, really just to give people confidence when backing the campaign that the complete story arc is already in place, that all 4 books, do essentially exist. And it should also, I think, make for a better, more cohesive, campaign overall. So to recap, Sunfall is very different from anything I've written before. The 4 books are kind of interlinked to create an open world feel that I've not had in DestinyQuest. You'll start with book 1, and for the most part you will play through the books in sequence, but within that sequence you'll move back and forth between locations. It's a system that I've not really seen done this way before, so I'm kind of excited to share it eventually and see what people think. I literally just finished book 2 this past weekend. I've been working super hard, partly because writing has really helped me stay sane and grounded. I've literally been putting in about 7-8 hours a day for about well over a month, averaging nearly, some days I've done 5,000 words, which is kind of a record that I've never achieved before in my entire life. Anyway, each book, once you factor in the rules section and abilities kind of glossary, are coming in at around 90,000 words and approximately 500 entries-ish each. So I can't really tell you how surreal it is to have 2 whole books done and yet I can't share anything. I kind of feel like the best analogy I was just thinking of was like, I feel like a frantic caterpillar at the moment where I'm sort of working away, building up my cocoon, and I'm just waiting silently behind the scenes to kind of explode next year into my butterfly form and show off the fruits of my labor, so to speak. And also I can't imagine what it's going to be like for readers, because you're going to get all 4 books arriving at once, which is pretty special when you think about it. There's no going to be any delays, no waits between books, no worries that a book isn't going to be written. They'll all be done, providing a completely sort of seamless kind of 4-book epic game world. So that should be pretty amazing. Anyway, yes, so you might not have to actually wait that long for a taste of what's coming. Ark Mage is considering printing the prologue of book 1 as a promotional booklet. So that would include also like the associated rules in the back, along with all of the layout and the artwork that would feature in the final books. So this is essentially so people can play like the sort of tutorial style part of the book, get a sense of the world and how the game system sort of functions. Obviously this would be very early stages, but so I think the idea is to release this later this year, probably as part of the kind of lead up campaign towards the crowdfunding. I don't have any more details yet, but I'll keep you posted. But I have already given Ark Mage the reworked prologue, because I had to obviously renumber it all, reformat it all, and do an abridged version of the rules. So I've actually written and done all that. It's called Awakening the Flame. So it's going to be like a special promo booklet, as I've said. Okay, so other news. Let's talk DestinyQuest for a moment. At last, hallelujah, praise the Gamebook lords. The updated edition of Legion of Shadow is now officially available as an ebook. If you already own a digital copy, your platform should allow you to update it. though you might need to do that manually. On Amazon, for example, you need to go into Manage Content and Devices, then click on your books, then click on and then Legal and Shadow would be there, and then there's a tab to press that just says Update. So yeah, that's great news. As for the printed copies, they're out there, but some stock of the old version is still lingering, and I know that's been a bit frustrating, but that's just unfortunately the nature of distribution and the way that Galant's decided to do it. Okay, moving on. Okay, I've just done a reprint of Raiders of Dune Sea. In fact, this arrived 10 minutes ago, which is on my sort of author copy, just to check that everything's fine, there aren't any blank pages or any frightening howlers in it, but everything looks fine. So, because it is currently out of print at the moment, but I'd imagine then places like Amazon that will probably be getting it in the next week or so. I know I mentioned earlier in the year my intention to create collector's editions of Raiders of Dune Sea and Wrath of Ragnarok, which would essentially be beautiful hardback copies with lovely illustrations throughout. I still plan to do that, but I'm actually holding off until I've done book 3 of that this series, so that I can actually release them all together. Obviously that will happen once Sunfall is all wrapped up and done. I'm actually really excited to return to DestinyQuest for this final book, because I feel quite genuinely that I'm a totally different writer now. I've learned so much from working on Sunfall, and I've learned so much from collaborating and working with Oliver, who is just an absolute, genius. And yeah, I think there's a lot that I will bring to that final book of DestinyQuest. And rest assured, I don't think I'll ever write anything quite as ridiculously sized as this. Again, I think I've learned one thing, which is shorter entries and pacing. Anyway, so I think that's it for now. As always, if you have any questions, then feel free to drop them in the comment section below. I think in general, I think this year is going to be pretty quiet from me. I promise you there's an absolute lot of furious work going on behind the scenes, and will be towards the end of this year as we move towards the campaign and getting artwork done, which I want to be super excited about. Sunfall will be worth the wait. I can't wait, providing the world doesn't get blown up in the meantime, to share it with everybody. I really can't wait. So that's it. That's it for now. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your support. Obviously, my DestinyQuest books are out there at the moment. Keep enjoying them. Keep leaving reviews. Please keep leaving some reviews. And yeah, happy adventuring, guys. Thanks.